Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I feel like I always do my sit down videos here, but I never really set up like a filming space since we moved here because I kind of just do a lot more vlogs. But today I'm sitting down with you guys because I want to talk about all the things that I have changed or that has changed about me, or how Germany has changed me, I guess, since moving here a little over 2 years ago. So if you're interested, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below. We're shooting for 10K. So subscribe down below, tell your friends. Thank you very much. And let's get started. I thought of this idea because of one of the reasons on this list, and then I just kind of like kept adding on to it. It's not super extensive. I just thought it was kind of funny, the few things that have changed about me since moving here. I feel like I have, what's the word? Become more German, I guess. That's not really what I'm trying to say, but I've just found that I like things better a certain way. So let's get going with the list. So the reason I started this list, like I said, is I started counting like this. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is like not an American thing anymore. But like now that I've done it enough, I can't not do it. I mean, like if I try hard enough, I can not do it, but it's just kind of funny because I don't know about Europeans in general. This is more of like Germany because obviously I live in Germany, but I know Germans count like that. So that's my reason for starting this list. My second way I've changed since moving here is I love sparkling water. Like I will prefer sparkling water, not like all the time, but we got a soda stream and I drink so much more water. And you'd think it would be the opposite, but it's just, I love sparkling water. And before we moved here, I was like still water all the way. And most of the time I still get still water when we go out, but I love sparkling water with some lemon or like fruit in it. So good. I've talked about this a couple times in a few vlogs of mine, and if you didn't know, I primarily make vlogs on this channel, but I like to kind of switch it up every once in a while. So here's this video. But in a couple of my vlogs, I've talked about how I am gonna have a hard time when I go back to the States not staring at people, because staring is so common here that I've become that person that is staring at people until they look away rather than me looking away. I kind of do that on purpose sometimes, like when creepy people, in my opinion, are staring at me, I'll just like dead stare back, which I never did in the US. It was always like, you know, look away. But now I stare at people, and I'm gonna be that person when we move back to the States that stares at people, and I'm gonna have to like relearn a habit of like not staring. And to me, it's not even staring, it's just like people watching. Like I just like always am looking at people. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be so proud of that one. I'm not proud, but that is something I'm gonna have to get used to when we move back, which I hope is never. I'm putting it out there, manifesting. I don't want to move back to the US. I like living over here. It's an unpopular opinion, I think, of military spouses overseas, but listen, I cannot think of the word. I am blending in. Okay, next one. I don't speak German. I don't say that I speak German, but I am learning German, and I know some German, like a little bit of German. And there are some words that I just like cannot say in English anymore. Obviously I can, but like in my brain, when I see asparagus, I think of Spargel, not asparagus. And like strawberries, Erdbeeren, like I don't see them that way. Orangen, Milk. I can't say milk, milk. Like anytime I write on my like grocery list, it's M-I-L-C-H rather than M-I-L-K. Just a few examples. Don't comment on my German, okay? Please. Unless it's a compliment, which I know it's not gonna be, so please don't comment on my German. I'm trying, I'm learning. I really want to take a class, but like, I don't know. If you've ever taken a German class and it wasn't like super expensive, or I don't know, let me know. I'm really interested in it, but I just haven't taken one yet. I probably should get on that considering we have less than a year left, but I love German. I love learning German. I feel like it's more appropriate to ask, or like at least say hello instead of hello, and danke instead of thank you, when like you're at a German restaurant, you know? I'll get off my soapbox with that one. I definitely think if you're moving to a different country, you should definitely learn that language, but maybe it's just me. One thing, I think I talked about this in another video when I went to the States and came back, but I don't really lock my doors as like consciously as I do in the US, because there's a specific moment I will always remember. Is I was back in my hometown, which is not a town, it's a city, but in my home area, and at the Target and Walmart that I went to forever growing up. And the second I was in the parking lot of, and mind you, it's not like it's like a super safe area like a Walmart in the area that I'm talking about, but back in the day, you know, you just like get out of your car and you're just whatever. Anytime I drive anywhere in the States, everywhere I park, I immediately lock the door if I'm not getting out immediately. And then as soon as I get out of my car, I lock the door immediately. And like, there are some times when like you just forget to lock your doors and stuff. Like, I feel like I'm always locking stuff in the US, and here I'm not. I feel safer. I want to stay here forever, okay? If you're German and you're watching this, I want to stay here forever. And I know you probably hate that coming from an American, but I love Germany. I love it so much. Last two, they kind of go together. Cow's milk. When we first moved here and when we lived in the US, I never bought milk. I never bought milk. I had milk growing up, obviously, but like I would buy coconut milk, almond milk, and some of my earlier grocery hauls here, I always bought coconut milk. And then when we bought our espresso machine, I was like, you know what? Whole milk is just better. Like at coffee shops, it's just better. And so I started buying whole milk, and I am now that person I went to our commissary and saw milk in the fridge and I was like, I don't know, that seems like it's gonna go bad. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know why. I'm just much more used to milk being on the shelf than being in the fridge, and I prefer it now. I know it's not like a super big thing, but I know a lot of people in the US, and I'm sure myself 3 years ago would have been like, milk on a shelf? That's disgusting. I would never drink that. And now I'm like, milk in the fridge? Milk when you buy it in the fridge. When I open our milk from the shelf, I put it in the fridge. Am I supposed to do that? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do that. Let me know. And the last one, in German grocery stores, we like don't have creamer, like the creamer in the US, which was shocking to me because I guess I just never thought about that. But creamer is too sweet now. Like American creamer we get at the commissary, it's just too sweet. I don't like it. I made a TikTok about like our coffee routine, and there were a couple people, cough, my freaking sister, if you're watching this, you opened up the floodgates for people to get mad at me. They all said my coffee was white. I was like, it's a latte. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, I would rather have milk and like some kind of syrup, which is definitely accessible here. You can buy syrups anywhere. Make them at home. Make them at home, they're so much easier. But yeah, milk and like some kind of syrup, a lot better in my opinion. And creamer, Jake will drink creamer sometimes, so we'll buy it sometimes, but we haven't bought creamer in a while. And I don't really want to, because it's like, even thinking about it, it's too sweet. So this is how I've changed as an American living in Germany. And if you're an American watching this, don't get offended. It's not like, I'm still American. I still love my American stuff. And if you're German and you're offended, why? I love your country. I want to stay here forever. I want to be fluent in German. I want like all these things. I love it here so much. I would stay here for the rest of Jake's career and then after, if I could. Yeah, I love you. If you're German, love you so much. If you're American, love you too. But like, I'm glad I moved here. I'm glad that I'm like more open-minded to some things, and my opinion has changed on some things. And I like that. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you are a military spouse living overseas, or you have lived overseas, how do you think that's changed you? What habits or grocery items or things that you had overseas are just better that way and you miss them in the States? Let me know. I'm so interested to hear from you guys. Please be nice to me. All these videos always get more views, and then it reaches more people, and then people get mad at me and yell at me about stuff. So please don't yell at me. I feel like I've said that enough, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button down below. Like I said, 10,000, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Are you gonna help me or not? That's the real question. All right, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.